Joining us live, CTV political commentator Scott Reid, who's also going to Game 1 tonight. So appreciate you joining us early this morning, Scott. What do you make of this here? You know, the province doesn't need to ask permission to use Ronald Reagan's words. It's sort of publicly available there. Donald Trump taking offense to it here. But really, the matter is this. It's disrupting the trade talks. That's the big deal here. You know, is this just another, setback, or do you see this as something perhaps more serious?
Well, it's definitely a serious situation. And so there's a serious decision on Doug Ford's desk today. But let's start with this. Let's just say the obvious. What a glass jaw Donald Trump has. What a crybaby. You know, if part of the motivation of this campaign on the part of Doug Ford was to make certain that this ad and this argument got seen, well, it's worked in spades. To make certain that the president of the United States notices the message, well, you got him squealing like a 6-year-old brat whose toy's been taken away. So it's worked. And you guarantee now with his bullying and his weakness and his posting of this ad's content, now you guarantee already Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, it's being seen and shared everywhere now. So thanks, President Trump. You're actually doing our work for us. But you're right. Now we have a big decision to make. Where are the state? What's the state of trade talks? Do you take the ad down? And if so, under what terms?
Yeah, Scott, it's very interesting. I mean, you talk about Donald Trump being a crybaby. I mean, he's talked about annexing Canada, and we don't put up any kind of, hey, this is not fair, this is whatever. But I guess that's what happens when you're dealing with a one-sided negotiator. But how hard does it make it for Prime Minister Carney now? We spoke with you earlier saying that there was potential meetings at the ASEAN and APEC summits coming up in Asia. What does Trump need to do? Like you mentioned, does he take down the ad? Does he reprimand Premier Ford publicly? Carney, what does Carney need to do to fix this situation? Because it looks like Trump's saying, hey, no, it's canceled. No more talks.
Let's take advantage of it, would be my argument. So if, in fact, trade talks are at a good, crucial place, if we are on the verge of some kind of sectoral trade deal, then let's take advantage of the insecurity and the whining of the president. You know, Doug Ford can go to the microphone this morning if trade talks are truly on the brink, and he can say, listen, my intention was to get his attention, and I've succeeded. This has been a triumph. And he can suspend the campaign. And that's not a back down, not in the face of this. That's a triumph. That's a victory lap. And then we'll see where trade talks are at. And you can always reserve the right to put the ad campaign back on. We'll have to see, what will Trump do next? Obviously, he's bullied the Reagan Foundation into suggesting that there's something inappropriate use of it. There's nothing inappropriate about it. It's fair use. It's public comment. And so, what will Trump do next? Will he bully the networks and say anybody who dares to run a message I don't like on the airwaves, I will punish with regulatory or policy controls out of the White House? I mean, this is where we're at in the United States right now. If you cross the president of the United States, he will unleash the full force of his office on you and your organization.
Yeah, it's so true. We've seen Republicans against Trump who are probably more Reagan-esque than Trump-landia, as it were. And they've said, again, nothing wrong with this either. Listen, Scott, we were a little tight for time today, so we appreciate you joining us early this morning. Enjoy Game 1 tonight as well. Thanks so much.
Enjoy it.